According to the Harvard Business Review, one out of every 250 sales reps are actually successful in the job that they do. In this speech, we'll be taking a look at some of the successful sales consultants and some of the techniques and approaches they use. And it's very important to understand the sales techniques and approaches that's actually used so we can make informed, educated buying decision when we're purchasing a product for ourselves or purchasing a home or actually purchasing a brand new car or even a gift for our loved ones. First, we'll take a look at the most successful quartile of sales reps. And starting out, we'll take a look at some of the experts. Experts in the field, they tend to be well-rounded in all areas. They have a good sense of the product. They have good product knowledge, and they have a good sense of exactly what you're looking for. Then we move forward, secondly, to smooth talkers. Smooth talkers can sometimes make a product sound too good to be true. You want to be real conscious of smooth talkers because typically when something sounds too good to be true, then we all know that it's just that, too good to be true. It's not realistic, or even some of the facts even might be actually missing. Then we have our sales consultants, and sales consultants have great listening skills. They tend to be able to pick up on cues and different hints that you might describe in the open-ended conversation when discussing the product. However, sales consultants typically tend to overlook some of the questions that you might not ask. So when working with a sales consultant, it's very important for you to be comfortable to actually ask them, hey, is there any suggestion that you might actually make when purchasing the product? Then we go to the lower quartile, which is some of our storytellers, and we've all interacted with a sales rep who tend to just lean and depend on case studies. Not very personal, but they have case studies and they tend to almost talk your ear off regarding some of the case studies, but not really relating the product to you personally. Then we have focusers, and focusers, they have a good product knowledge and they know a lot about the services. However, they actually lack listening skills. And if you notice, focusers and storytellers are quite relative to one another. So, knowing the products but lacking good listening skills would typically mean that the sales rep will make a recommendation that's actually what they're looking to sell instead of selling you a product based upon your needs. Aggressors are price negotiators. They tend to start out high rather than low, and then they work their way down to maybe a mid-tier pricing. And sometimes they can either make you feel a little bit alienated, like you can't afford a product, or like the product is the best pricing on the market. Then you have socializers, and socializers tend to want to be your best friend rather than actually get down to business and sell you the product. And they tend not to be real conscious of your time. Whatever type of personality type that you're dealing with, you can't be afraid to go and ask the questions that need to be asked to make an educated decision. So, for an example, if you're working with a price negotiator, you would ask, is there room for the pricing to come down? Why is the pricing so high? Is there any other discounts that's coming up? What type of contract am I in with the plan here? And is the price going to go up within 6 months or even to a year? If you're working with a person that's a sales consultant, like I mentioned, you want to be comfortable in asking those other questions that you might have not have thought of while talking to the sales rep. Just an example of some of the questions that we actually need to ask and think about when working with the different type of personality types. Then we go on to the final stage of the sale, which is actually the close, and we have different type of closing techniques that sales reps use that you should be very informative of. So this you have to sense the closing of the sale. In some points, we have an assumptive sale, which basically assumes the sale forward. It makes it a no-brainer for you to make the decision to go ahead and purchase the product. Secondly, the puppy close, which I found amusing. It's when the sales reps put the product in your hand and they make you say "ah" to yourself, and you fall in love with the product just by touching it and feeling it. It may be a new jacket that you might try on, or a brand new car that you might test drive. Then we have the relationship close, and the relationship close is when a sales rep feels that they have built a great relationship with you and a great rapport, so they go ahead and assume the sale. And the hard close is asking for the actual sale right up front. And knowing the different personality types and knowing the closing of the sale, we have to feel even more comfortable that we can talk to a sales rep and be informed and be engaged and know exactly what we're talking about. I hope you can make an informed decision when purchasing a product and when speaking with a sales rep. Protect yourself and protect the value of your money. After all, we do work hard for it. Make an informed, educated decision.